Hello, good people. Panya here with more on the vlog about success. Now, I'm adding to my last blog post because I think success is such an important topic because we all want it. But I want to really encourage you to get clear on what success means for you, especially if you're on social media every day like I am, where it's inevitable that you'll be consuming a lot of messaging around what success is supposed to look like. And the prevailing message that I see is that it's supposed to look big, go big or go home, big money, big business, big lifestyle. And there's nothing wrong with big. It just doesn't tell the whole story because going big doesn't necessarily correlate with a sense of fulfillment, which is what I think we're really after at the end of the day. Now, having a bigger vision for your life is absolutely appropriate because we're all here on a growth journey to show up today better than we did yesterday. But bigness for the sake of bigness, that's not the answer, because there's something for you to be on your path. That's your big picture. And there are also some things for you to do so that you can have what you want on that path. Now consider what's happening in the world right now. We are on a global scale rethinking how we want to organize ourselves and interconnect, thinking about what it means to move from command and control culture to co-creative culture, where we all are able to find and exercise voice. And what that means is that we're going deeper. We're looking for meaning beyond what we have. So if you're visioning, your goal setting is primarily focused on what you want to have, it won't be enough in my opinion, or it won't hold, it won't stick because it lacks meaning. Now, let me give you an example that's come up in my work that relates to the money story, the work success or more success at work story. Now, I primarily attract folks who are service-oriented. I am that, and I attract that. These are folks who choose to be of service in the world. Now, these are the givers around us. So naturally, a big part of their work, their healing, is around receiving. And many people choose to work specifically on money goals. But I find that folks come up with numbers, with money goals that shut them down instead of opening them up. And this is why it's so helpful to work with a coach to help you see the spaces that you may otherwise be missing. So, one person in particular chose a number that was based on what she perceived her role model to be making. It was a number that sounded good, that she'd heard a lot, but it was an outside-in number. And it was focused primarily on what she wanted to have, without consideration for who she wanted to be and what she really wanted to be doing. And so the number lacked meaning for her. And because it lacked meaning, she didn't put a lot of energy or action behind it. Add to that she was very connected to, empathic around what was going on in the world right now. And in the States right now, as we move into another election cycle, we're rethinking how we do money on a national level. We're thinking about how much money it's appropriate to have. We're thinking about how to live in community appropriately around money. And as we do that, I think we're really seeing the paradoxical perspectives that we have around money, where we deify it or we demonize it. And that tension was stopping this particular person from buying in to her own money goals, because the number that she'd come up with, it felt arbitrary, it felt high, it just felt wrong to her. So we worked on helping her to shift from that polarized and polarizing perspective into one that she could really buy into, so that she could remember that money is a tool. And we went through a process where she came to a physical number that was linked to a specific lifestyle and way of life that had meaning for her, and that energized her to keep doing what she needed to do to achieve her goal. And she did start making more money. We worked first, though, on her state of being. or big picture. And that, in my experience, is how we hold change on a path to success that's sustainable and fulfilling. Start from a place of being. Who are you here to be? And look, I've decided this year to bring more of the big picture piece into the vlog, right? I've been talking about the soul. I mean, it doesn't get much more big picture than that. And I have to admit that it's taken me some time to get here, to get to this place, because I didn't know how it would be received. But you know what? I'm walking my talk. I'm choosing to have the courage to show up as I truly am. I'm also doing it because there's a well-established knowledge industry in place online, and I've certainly benefited from it. But what I'd like to see more of in the online space is a wisdom industry, one that takes a holistic mind, body, spirit approach to life, to business, all of it. A wisdom industry that's equally focused on the big picture and the details. A wisdom industry that's about being, doing, and having, that's about the material world and the spiritual, because I'm equally fascinated by and enamored with the material world and the invisible one. And I'm sure there are others like me out there. They're both real, and they both inform how we move through life. So in this time of cultural transition, we really need to think about and be about wisdom. And we need to support the people out here who are bringing that big picture, holistic approach to their private and their public lives. Now, I'm thinking about adding a bonus to this year's live run of Onward and Upward training that taps into that space of being. I'm thinking of sharing with each participant in the course their soul group path, which is all about that place of being, who they're here to be. And I want to share it so that it can inform, of course, how they approach the first module in the course. In the first module, we intention and goal set. But I also want it to inform how they move through the rest of their lives. Now, if that is something you'd like to see in the course, let me know. If there's enough interest, I will certainly add it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Wherever you're watching from, share some love, share some comments. Let me hear from you. And know that I'm sending you love too. See you soon.